What's up, fam? All Clouded, episode 44, and this week we've been on absolute cruise control. In saying that, we have lost quite a few runs. I'm really suffering from these weird lag spikes. I know what's his name? Tags mentioned it in one of his streams. It was happening to him a bit, and I think just the downtime in the black hole is what's causing it. Randomly, even though everything might be stunned, everything's paused, and then all of a sudden everything will just teleport straight into me. It's a really weird thing. That's probably more on the downside of this week. Outside of that, we've been super cruising, and I've just been enjoying the switch up in the gameplay that we've been doing for the last couple of weeks. We had a good stream last night, did a couple runs. Chat was awesome, looking after people, answering the questions and stuff. But let's dive into it. I actually lost the run before this. I logged into collect gems, and then all of a sudden, the thing that I was talking about, game freezes, boom, everything teleports into me. I don't know what the hell's going on. So we'll go around and do the rounds, eh? So for this week, I haven't done any milestones. I was actually planning on doing some last night, but after the stream, but I respec'd into farming, and then I couldn't be bothered respecing. So what I might do is I might actually hit milestones next week, but we'll do the rounds for the stats. So at 1.23 Q, that would definitely be higher. I must have lost or runs prematurely, because the runs are now 3 8-hour runs. If a run prematurely ends 4 hours or however many hours before it should do, it really screws up the rotation and stuff like that. But look, it is what it is. I'm not going to cry over spilled milk. Stones 31k, keys 4. This is where we were for the peak. So peaked at 6,000 waves. Most of the time I'm somewhere between 5,700, 5,900 sort of thing, and we took a peak of 861. I'm actually expecting that to jump a little bit, but we kind of get around that 800 mark unless something goes wrong, perk selection, that sort of thing. We could look at run history. It's a bit all over the place at the moment. I haven't been deleting off dud runs, but stuff like this is a pretty common run. 5,900 waves, 800 trill, and then around that 7 hour mark. Then you get some bad runs like this. This is a perfect example. 5,200, randomly everything teleports to me. My voice sounds a bit funny. I just got real crazy allergies at the moment. I think this must be the one that was for the peak wave, 6,000 waves. And that's, around that 8 hour mark. So here's a little bit of an example. You guys can take a pause and look at anything if you're interested. And it's just been cruisy. We have had a bit of an adjustment in the workshop, and we can get into that when we go around. So for Tawny, I think we've got 1 or 2 people that need to move, that are going to do their runs in that, but we should be getting keys this run, even if the 2 move, unless one of these other guys kicks us out. So that's pretty cool. For the history, this one here, this is the midweek one, bro. I got absolutely spanked, bro. The ultimate weapon duration battle condition, but I only got 400 waves, and I had to switch things up. I can't remember what I switched to. I think I switched to Space Displacer, and then that got me those extra waves. It was real crazy, what I'm talking about with the teleporting mobs. Had it a number of times live on stream last night, where it's we're doing really well, teleport, I lose my, I lose my wall, all my shields, lose my second wind. It's just, yeah, this is like absolutely wild. So hopefully it's something that that the devs recognize. Missions, I think everybody's gonna kind of be looking like this. Here's my gold bot. What was this for? Oh, this is when we got the dimension core. So here's how gold bot's looking. I think this event I managed to get 2 clicks into the bonus, and I may or may not look into the duration. At the moment I'm just, yeah, we're just working on this. I think this maxes out at 8x, so I can only imagine what the large chunk of these bonus clicks is going to equal. For the guild season, killing it as always. I'm going to leave this relic. I'm probably going to pick it up, maybe not last, but close to last. I did get the last theme, I think. Yep, I picked that up, so I'm actually going to start getting these, which I probably could now. It's probably always best to go for like this, or the bits maybe. But this should actually get me a level after I do a farming run. And then I'll go for like these two, the damage, gems, you know, that sort of thing. We're gonna easily, if you start at the start of the season, you're gonna easily complete everything. And then I think, like, if you haven't picked up previous chips, they kind of sit down here, and I think they just stay there until each season goes past, until you eventually pick them up. For fetch, we do have a little bit of change. So what do we go for? I think we're supposed to go for cooldown. Maybe double fine, but we'll just go cooldown. Couple clicks in there. And how is fetch doing? So we easily hit the caps. What I more look at is, I'll look at the in run. Not that one. We'll go that one. And then I go way down and I'm looking at the shards. So it's only a shell of its former self, since we pulled all the bits out of it to put it into the summon, but we'll just, that's probably where I'm just going to be dumping everything. And that was guilds. So for workshop, so the change in the workshop, I now have just these gold blocks. So attack speed, crit chance, these 4, and I leave the rest at 0, and I now have damage at 0 too. And the main reason for that is having the addition of adding in dimension core, and that increase in damage, or the single target damage. It now means that I could pull the 400-500 levels out of the damage, and we're pretty sweet. And, you know, getting those extra waves in that means that it's still gold boxes by the end of it. I don't think I've changed anything else. Here's the settings on these if you are interested. And for this, I pulled some coins out of here, and I added them into enhancements, so we could have a look at that. So damage, same. Health, currently at nothing, and that's just because I don't have the coins at the moment. But I did put a few extra clicks into the coin bonus. So I'm expecting not like a massive jump in coins, but maybe a little bit of something. What I'm trying to say. And I might even aim to put an extra 3 clicks in here, and it's not based on anything like a sheet or you know, some sort of optimum path. It's just for the respec factor. You know, it's a lot more simple to put it in things of like 10s or 5s, and it just makes the respec just a bit faster. But I've got it pretty down packed at the moment. I know most of the settings off by heart. The only stuff where it takes a little bit longer is when I get to tournaments, and then I look at what changes available for me to spend. And I always forget this tab, but for the most part it's because there's not much movement. But for ultimate weapons, this is how we're looking if you're interested. This is weird. Look at that. Oh, that must be because of got dim core equipped. So here's how my ultimate weapons are looking. I'd really like a few clicks into size, but kind of in a, and same with angle, but and bonus, but same. Every stone's counting at the moment as I'm trying to save. So for cards and masteries, literally all my coins have been going into the rare package. Where are we? So we're now at level 7, which is 3.2%, and it's all adding up. It's all adding up for the snowball effect, and we're just going to send it to max. And with the lab coin discount lab, I'm actually curious in how much the last level of the lab costs. For moddies and assists, here's how we're looking. So we're kind of around that 178 level. See if we can put anything into that. Oh, nothing. Yeah, we're currently at the... Oh, how much is this? We'll wreck some magic, hey fam, while we're here. So we will restore. How much does that give us? I'll restore this. And then what were we gonna go? We'll go 100. Then we'll go 50. And a 10. That guarantees us the substat. Boom. See what the multiplier jumps to. How come I can't level it up? What? I still don't have enough. Oh no. Oh damn. Oh well. After this run we'll get it. So we'll just max that. And then I just put whatever change into whatever. It's not really doing much anyway. So yeah, here's how modules are looking. I think I have rolled some stuff. So I rolled the spotlight bonus just to help with tournaments, and that's because I'm using Dimension Core and I'm using Ohm Chip. And then while I was rolling for this, I actually lost the chain quant, and just getting that back in, and it was really stink timing with the last tournament, how it had the armored enemies and you want as much quant as possible. But we managed to roll that back, so this is at least it's at least presentable for tournaments. For the Ohm Chip, I haven't rolled anything because I don't really have like the substats kind of thing set up, and I'm kind of thinking like for future builds, like what we'll kind of be looking at for something for farming. I'm thinking something with primordial, maybe like a primordial. I mean, I think we'll get to a stage eventually down the track, like once we're a couple tiers higher, that this main slot here, we can just kind of put anything in there. But I'm thinking with the primordial having the 3 black holes, I think just that extra coverage for killing stuff outside of black hole will be pretty good for us. I think I've picked up a few stars. Like I've had some okay luck. Oh, that's what we got. We got a pulsar harvester at ancestral, which is pretty damn good. Now, I could roll some stats on there, but I'm kind of just sitting on it at the moment. I'm not really doing anything with it at the moment. I'll just see. Like eventually we'll end up picking up the slot. It's definitely on the cards, but as far as the priority list is, it's not front row and center. I think, I don't know if I mentioned, but I think I managed to pick up the war rebuild, and what I have been trying to get is I've been trying to get like orb chance, or what is it, orb chance, landmine chance. That's what I've been trying to get on to this for, to help with tournaments and that. I can't really think of anything else with modules. I've given a couple nudges at trying to roll this off and get like a CF roll on it, but yeah, I've had no luck. And as you can see, I never stick to my word with not re-rolling effects. I'm pretty sure I've rolled something else. Did I roll something else? Or maybe it was just the Dimension Core was swallowing up all my rolls. And we've got a few mythic pluses here that I won off, like Prim C's one off, the OA's one off. What's Ohm Chip at? Ohm Chip is... oh, Ohm Chip's still got a wee bit way to go. But yeah, we've got a few copies that'll go Ancestral soon. What I'd like get annoyed with is when I'm getting stuff like this. 2 stars on that. 3 stars on that. I really wish it would go to other stuff. What's this? 3 star. I think the Space Displace is 3 star. Just stuff like that. But look, it's cool as the closer they get to the 5 star, then the closer the you know, your chance gets once you hit the 5 stars. So I suppose it's just a part of the, it's just the name of the game. So for labs, one cool thing, so this is what I'm labbing at the moment, and I put the deathweight damage back in after somebody asked in one of the videos, like, how did I find adding it? I think it goes to, how many levels? Deathweight damage amp goes to 30 levels. So I added it back in, even though at the moment it's doing nothing for me, but that's just more out of curiosity. Like, maybe it does something later on. Like, I do notice that in the later ends of my run, I might get a boss or Rays just stunned for ages, or maybe protectors and that, and they're just sitting there. And I'm kind of hoping that just if we spam a bunch of death wave, what are they called? The effect waves, that when that kill wall comes out, it might be able to do a bit of damage to them and that. But yeah, it's probably just like a waste of time because I don't have enough stones in the actual damage. But 26 times amped on whatever it is. But I think, like, I've seen other people sit this more at around the 300 mark. So 300 times the amp. So they're definitely going to get like a bit of better use out of it. But look, who cares? We'll just see where it goes. I put amp bot duration in there. No real reason. Again, I just kind of felt like doing it. And, you know, it's super underinvested and it's not really making much of an impact. But look, we might be able to pick up an extra 10 seconds of duration, so I might be a bit of saying. I got core effect bands, and this is mainly to help with eventually, if dimension cores do end up existing and I get the last copy, we're probably going to pour a crap ton of rerolls into it. So I actually didn't know that this labs actually has that many levels. Like, look at it. It's got 7 levels. Like, I'm not super pricey, but it's got 7 levels. I thought it was only a 4 level module thing. So yeah, it's pretty it is what it is. And one cool thing with labs, oh, and I just got lab coin discount in there. One cool thing with labs that I'm super happy that I did, and purely out of frustration, was recharge demon mode. So I don't have the mastery, I don't have the unlocking keys, but the frustration of that event coming up and not having a max recharge on it. Like, now it just recharges every 300 waves or whatever it is, and I can complete that just by equipping it. I can just put it on in a run and I can complete it by the run, the 8-hour run or whatever. And it's been super, like, from a quality of life or just like an annoyance perspective of the game, it's been super massive getting it. And I actually, this one here, Second Wind Blast, I actually didn't even know this lab existed. I was just like scanning through the labs just to see, like, oh, let's see if there's some stuff that I could pick up. And then I seen that, and then that made me think. So through testing tier 14, like, one thing that like make or breaks the longevity of the run is overcharge. That's super annoying. So I was looking through the labs and that, and then I seen that, you know, this thing could kill all the enemies on the screen, and then I was like, well, my theory is because fleets spawn so infrequently, if I could get a card slot and I could equip this, then hopefully it's something that if I'm running out all of my defenses, the second Wind Blast can kill whatever fleet's on the screen. The only downside to that is I'll be left with no defenses. But I might equip it anyway, just for the random lag, you know, teleport spike things that's going on for me. And yeah, maybe that might just stop a few of those. I might just get a little bit more consistency out of my runs. That's what I'm trying to say. The only problem is it's like thousands of gems for that extra slot. But yeah, I definitely probably going to look at equipping that. So yeah, just that's labs. So pretty crazy week. What I do want to do is I want to change, because we got the milestone for that. I'm going to change to the panda skin. I like wearing the, I'm in a tournament at the moment, so I got to wait for that. I like wearing whatever the skin is on the highest milestone that I've achieved. And I did actually forget, because I get asked it quite a few times, but I always forget to show it. But here's the perks that I got. So here's my bands. How many bands is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that 7? Yeah. So this damage one here, I'm not ready to be able to equip it. Obviously I'm using damage. You may have some sort of success if you're doing more of a hybrid approach. I need to get rid of the lifesteal. The only reason why I've got it is because it's like X amount of slots, and it just gives a higher chance for getting the perks that I actually want. Same with defense. Orbs, because I don't have a orb adjuster, and max health, and that's just because, again, that actually I might swap that for regen, but that's just because what am I trying to say? Because that takes up X amount of slots as well. So again, it helps. I just find that it gives me, from the econ side, it gives me like probably just a bit more consistency for the RNG of perk selection. For my auto picks, I've got the enemy speed up quite high, because it makes like quite an impact, and not so much for the CC. Like, we're gonna have that perk by the time we actually need it for survivability side of the CC, but I actually really need it for the econ side. So I've bumped it up, and I feel like that's helps towards like a bit more consistency in the run. I put Black Hole above GT, just for more of the crowd control, and for more of you know, this version of whatever we call this build, some sort of blender devo damage, or devo something or other. I don't know which one out of these two is priority to put first. I just put the coins first. I got CF. I would have CF higher, just to give us the 100% CF, but look, it is what it is. And I am able to take the boss health speed trade-off, and I don't really have too much problems. It's not really, even though at the later portions of the run the bosses can be a bit of a pain if I get some sort of bad RNG, it's not really the bosses that end up finishing me off. But like, it's one of those things that at the end of the day, something has to end your run. For me, it's mainly getting chipped down from raids and stuff. I banned cash. Oh no, not banned cash. I put cash as a priority. And that is just... I actually don't want this. What's this? Enemies have 50% health, so I don't want this. I actually want health. Now, I'll explain why. I'll just get this. I think that I had that up there from a tier 14 run. So, I don't want this for my level of damage and my enemy level skips, and for where I am at with farming. I don't want the damage, the chain lightning, or the 50% enemy. I do want them, like, by the time I've maxed out my perks, but I don't want them too early from the econ side of things for the over trimming. So the reason why I put these ones in here is because these take multiple perks, and just having these as a priority over picking these, I just have a higher chance in delaying this stuff from coming in. And I don't need these inner landmines for where I'm at. Now, if it was tier 14, things would probably look a hell of a lot different. I would probably want a lot of these damage sort of ones as more of a priority. But for where I am at the farming, and we're kind of comfortable with the level of damage and CC and stuff that we have, we're cool with this. So yeah, just having these here, like if these are 4-5 perks each, it just means that if we get a run where there's only 3 to choose from, and one of them in here's damage, like especially this 2-time chain lightning damage or the 50% health, I do not want those too early. I'll end up spending a large portion of the run over trimming. So having this picked, it's all goods. And then also getting these out of the way faster also means that there's a possibility that we get some of the econ ones. That's just how I feel. Like, I haven't sat there just staring at it, but I feel like this kind of setup for me gives me kind of like the most consistency. Yeah, I always forget to talk about the perks because I do adjust these around quite a bit, and this is kind of what I've settled for. And I mean, I would like more bands and all the rest, but look, we'll just roll with that at the moment. Sweet. So that's us. So if you like what you see, you know the drill, fam. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification button so you can see when the next video's coming out. And as always, keep it clouded, fam.